Steve Dougan, he's coming up here to, you're doing the opening.
Thank you very much. So good morning. I thought I had done it right. I've got the gray sport coat, I've got the black slacks, I've got the blue dress shirt, no necktie, and the governor is goofing me up on this. Good morning from Ingham County. I think it's truly the heart of Michigan politics. I wanted to take this moment to declare that I'm not a candidate for governor in 2018. I figure by that time Michigan will have totally reinvented itself and that there won't be anything left for the next guy to do. I'm speaking this morning on behalf of our board chairman, Mark Governor, who freely admits to being a night owl. This is not his best time of day. Mark is truly a brilliant man. He's won a few terms to our Board of Commissioners, left to go to law school, and then came back. And he's retiring after this term. So I wrote an email to my sister Nancy the other day. She lives in suburban Chicago. I said, Nancy, you have to understand that Mark Governor was your county commissioner when you were a senior at Michigan State University, and she's 55 years old. His district is 184 houses across the street from the Breslin Center, and 17,000 students who live on the MSU campus. So many of you see Mark quoted in a lot of your newspapers back home, whether it's the Detroit Free Press, the Traverse City Record-Eagle, or anywhere in between. Mark's business is called Practical Political Consulting, and he was one of the first ones to really start tracking voter histories and voter tendencies. And again, I think he's made an art form of that. He tracks things like your nominating petitions. Someone signing your nominating petition is about 75% likely to be a member of your political party. With your donors, it's even a higher percentage. And all that's public information. So Mark is able to develop that into truly what is the most sophisticated tracking there is. He even has a guy in Sri Lanka, no jokes about outsourcing here. And this guy's job in Sri Lanka is to read every Michigan newspaper every day, online versions. And if the newspaper writer says, I think Steve Dougan is a great county commissioner, he's probably going to come back and code that guy as a Republican. Or if the newspaper writer says, don't blame me, I didn't vote for him last fall, he's probably going to get coded as a Democrat. I've seen a couple of those letters yet. Speaking of the Free Press, Ingham County is also home to the Free Press's political writer Dawson Bell. He lives in downtown Mason to cover state government. We're also the home to Tim Skubic. Many of you know him from Off the Record. And we're the home to Bill Ballinger, and many of you know him as the writer for the publication Inside Michigan Politics. And of course, Tim Skubic and Bill Ballinger have lent their talents to these conventions in the past. When Bill was first elected to the State House of Representatives, at that time he was the youngest person elected to the legislature. Ingham County is also the home to Supreme Court Justice Stephen Markman, the Board of Education member Nancy Danhoff, and Michigan State University trustees Brian Breslin, Diane Myram, Joel Ferguson, Melanie Foster, and George Perlis. I think there's politics in the water of the Grand River. Ingham County is still the home to some very fine Cadillacs, and in the year 2012, Cadillac will be adding a new small version to the assembly line. That's at the factory just south of the state capitol a few blocks. I'm sorry we are no longer the home to your father's Oldsmobile. That plant got leveled a few years ago. And one of the transitions that has certainly taken place in this county and in this job market area, the three-county area, is that both financial services and healthcare now employ more people than manufacturing. That's certainly a statement of the new economy. The auto owners of Michigan Farm Bureau, our cousins in Delta County. And when you look across the river here, the new building going up in the old power plant is being taken over by the Accident Fund, which was a spin-off of state government, of course. Years ago, that was the Workers' Comp Bureau as a division of state government. The same is true up in the north end of the county, where Emergent is the only manufacturer of the anthrax vaccine in the United States of America. Emergent owns BioPort. BioPort was spun off from the State Health Department years ago. So again, talk about a Homeland Security target, eh? We're honored to host this conference. This is my 7th time in attendance, but I'd like to take just 1 second for those of you in the audience who've been here more than 7 times. Would you please raise your hand for me? You've been here more than 7 years. Because I think all of you are indebted to our thanks for taking on the job that you thank, and I'd like to give I'd like to applaud your commitment to your counties, especially because this job in whatever county you represent is a lot tougher now than when it was when you started. None of us is going to get rich from this job. Few of us will ever run for the legislature, and God bless those of you who are willing to take on that commitment as well. There aren't too many book deals likely to come out of this, although I should admit years ago when I was on the mayor's staff with Lansing Mayor Jerry Graves, his last 4 years in office, and Tom Jerry was an Alpena County boy. Maybe he knows that already. But Jerry talked for years about writing a book when he was done as mayor called The Government Whorehouse. So maybe it's a book deal that probably never came about. But anyway, I certainly respect all of us are licking our wounds for the census numbers that got reported last week. We all know that Michigan lost 50,000 people. I'm an avid reader of the Nashville Tennessean online. That's how I keep my sports fix with my university. And reading over the weekend, I see that Nashville and the 5 surrounding counties there gained 250,000 people in the last 10 years. So it's, an amazing and frightening statistic to recognize. Anyway, on behalf of Ingham County, I'd just like to offer thanks to all of you who've come this morning. I'd like to thank MAC and their board of directors and the MAC staff for putting on a wonderful conference. And appreciate all of you being here. Thank you very much.